Okay, it's the 23rd of May 2025, and we're going to try and get Google AI Studio to make a Gillespie simulation page in HTML and JavaScript. So I'm just going to begin by asking, do you know what the Gillespie algorithm is? So the Gillespie algorithm is just a way of simulating continuous time Markov chains in a way that is like analytically exact. And it works by calculating the time until the next event and then calculating what the next event is. So Markov chain is just a random process where the next step only depends on the current state and the definition of the model. Good. So yeah, that looks about right. When the next reaction occur, which reaction it will be, complicated stuff. Okay, so initialize, calculate total propensity. What does that mean? Generate random. Yeah. Okay. Determine which reaction occurs. Oh, determine the time to next reaction. Determine which reaction occurs. Good. Updates. Okay. It knows. It knows what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna say, can you make for me a HTML file which does the following? Birth, death, process with input options. Okay, I'm just gonna copy that out for a second and just say, do you know what the can you do you know the definition of the birth death of the simple birth death process? Do you know the definition of the simple birth death process? So I'm sounding very condescending to Google AI Studio. Do you even know what the Gillespie algorithm is? Do you know what the birth death process is? But it's an LLM, so it doesn't care. Let's see. So, yeah, yeah. So the crucial thing is the birth rate is proportional to base rate times delta t. Okay, so it knows what it is. Okay, so now I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to paste. Can you make a simple standalone web page with HTML, CSS, JavaScript in a single HTML file, which does the following? There should be a canvas which displays realizations of the birth, death process, continuous time Markov chain. These realizations should be generated on demand when the user presses a button, and the user should be able to vary birth and death rates with input options. Let's see if it can do it. And while that's working, I'm just of birth, death made with AI. Okay, so GPT's doing that. Google AI Studio has got the code. We yet to see if it's going to work, but let's see. So I'm just going to copy that and go to the Visual Studio Code. I've got a file here. Paste that in, and then let's load it. Right, so that looks like something's wrong. I mean, it might be right. It's just when it gets past this threshold, it's just. It actually looks right until it gets to the top of the window. The simulation stops if the population reaches 0, Tmax. Tmax is reached, or the population exceeds the y-axis max. Okay, so it's working. It's working. It's just it just stops when it exceeds the y. Yeah, which makes sense because otherwise it would you know, it might like get really large and be a problem. Oh, but I can set the max. Okay, good. Okay, so I can just set it to 5,000. Yeah, okay. Just put the birth rate up a little bit. Yeah, so that's a functional birth-death process. It's pretty decent, to be fair. Just with one prompt, it's pretty decent. Okay, so that's a good start. GPT is still making the thumbnail of this video. If it works, you'll have probably seen it by now. Let's just try some fun. Good. Now change this so it simulates the birth-death catastrophe process. Let's see if it works. So the birth-death catastrophe process is like the birth-death process, a stochastic growth process, discrete state continuous time growth process, but where from any positive state there can be a catastrophe event that goes to 0, and the higher the process gets, the more likely this catastrophe becomes, because any of the individuals can trigger the catastrophe event. And so that was the topic of my PhD research, and so let's just see if Google AI Studio can come up with this. Right, it's still having a go at it. Just going to have a look at the JavaScript. Const rate, okay. Lambda start n, u start n, rate, total rates, okay. Okay, so the total rate will get the time till the next event. Yes, and it's doing the reverse, minus log r1. It's r1. Divided by the total rate. Ah, so r1 is just the random. Is it uniform random? It should be uniform random. Math.random. Is that uniform random? It should be 0 to 1 uniform random. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I'm just going to ask something else. In JS, is the... Yes, okay. Good. Now, so Google AI Studio should be done by now. Oh, I just want the full code. Just give me the full code HTML file. Don't want to have to think about things and copy and paste into particular places in the file. I just want to copy and paste the whole file. Here's the complete code. Never mind. That's actually what it did. I was too lazy to even realise that that's what it did. Okay. So 258 lines currently, and it's 282 now. So let's see if that does the desired thing. Perhaps. Starting at 10. Let's start at 3. Yeah, probably. That's probably correct. Good. So that's the birth-death catastrophe process. Now, you know what? I want to make one change before we finish. Get it to run and show multiple a defined count. Okay. So we're going to try and get it to show multiple realizations. At the moment it just shows one. And that's fine, but it looks cool when you see lots of them at once. Thinking, orchestrating, multiple, integrating parameter control. So Google AI Studio has this cool thinking thing. It shows you what it's doing while it's generating the result. Yeah, I don't think any of the others have this. It's quite cool. Right, so here's the full HTML code. And I have to say the outputs from Google AI Studio tend to work first try compared to GPT and Claude. So Claude seems better than GPT at the moment. I haven't tried GPT 4.1 yet, but Claude seems better than GPT. However, Claude does get things wrong quite, like if you ask it to do something really complicated, like this even, it might make some mistakes along the way. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I'm just going to make the initial state 1, and I'm going to ask for 50 realizations, and max population size 200, birth rate, and then catastrophe. And I'm going to reduce the catastrophe rate a bit. Yeah, okay, so that's the birth, death, catastrophe process. Easy.